Holly is not a ghost, but she remains unseen by others. During dinner with her parents and siblings, her brothers and sisters show a clear dislike for her, even refusing to pass her food. Holly reflects on her position in the family, describing herself as ordinary, caught in the middle of her siblings. Despite the strained relationships with her siblings, Holly shares a strong bond with her mom. The two express love for each other. Unfortunately, tragedy strikes when Holly's mom is diagnosed with terminal cancer. Holly decides to devote her time to making her mom happy and maintaining a positive atmosphere during her final days. After her mom passes away, Holly experiences a fading from the attention and memory of her family. The emotional toll of losing her mother is compounded by the increasing isolation she feels within her own family. As Holly's dad focuses on her other siblings and more on his phone during dinner, Holly becomes disappointed. Her siblings further alienate her by erasing her room's name. And this phenomenon extends to other aspects of her life, including school, where her attempts to speak go unnoticed. By the end of the summer, Holly has completely vanished from people's sight and memory. When she returns to her room, she discovers it repurposed as storage. Holly was surprised when appearing entirely invisible after joining in taking family photo and with no one providing an explanation. Fast forward to adulthood, struggling to cope with her invisible existence, Holly has adapted to her invisible state. Living alone in an apartment, she relies on delivery services for her necessities and then passes money under the door, afraid people might mistake her for a ghost. Holly works as a freelance tabloid photographer, exposing celebrities' hidden lives and selling the photos to tabloids. She maintains communication with them via phone texting, relishing the freedom of her invisible existence. Despite her invisibility, Holly continues to visit her family. Her brother, immersed in experimental filmmaking in the basement, and her sister, preparing for marriage, carry on with their lives. Their father has transitioned into commercial real estate, and Friday night dinners remain a family tradition, with Holly silently attending. Living invisibly has unexpected advantages for Holly: freedom from societal rules, manners, and appearance concerns. One evening, while clandestinely observing a couple, Holly is discovered by Shane, a former MMA fighter. After that, Shane kicks her out of the bar and warns her about respecting other people's privacy. Unlike others, he can see, hear, and touch her. Intrigued, Holly attempts to connect with others, but is met with continued indifference. The revelation that Shane can perceive her sparks a renewed hope in Holly. The next day, at her mother's cemetery, Holly shares her discovery about Shane, the random bouncer who can see her. She also admits that only him can see her, others can't. Upon her return home, Holly stumbles upon a revelation: Shane isn't just a random guy. There's a deeper connection between them. Shane, a renowned MMA fighter, was involved in a romantic relationship with an actress, but he got caught cheating, and Holly played a role in the scandal that ultimately devastated his career and personal life. Overwhelmed by guilt, Holly decides to confront Shane at the bar, confessing her involvement. However, Shane responds with anger, placing blame on Holly for the ordeal. Despite the tension, Holly expresses her desire to make amends by restoring Shane's reputation, resurrecting his fighting career, and even mending his relationship. She pledges her assistance under certain conditions. Yet, when Holly discloses that Shane is the only one capable of seeing her as a tangible person, he remains skeptical and unwilling to believe her. Holly reluctantly agrees to Shane's proposal. He tries to dismiss her, but Holly suggests joining him and his manager for a brief trial period. She offers to leave if, after 5 minutes, Shane determines that she can't be of assistance. Shane consents, and at the bar, he quickly notices that his manager seemingly can't perceive Holly. During their meeting, she aids Shane by revealing the manager's plans for his upcoming commitments. When Shane inquires about the cost, the manager falsely states it's only $800 per performance, down from the previous $1,005. Suspicious, Shane leaves the bar and confronts Holly, demanding an explanation. Holly admits her invisibility, which baffles Shane since he can see her. To prove her point, Holly stands in front of an oncoming taxi, asserting that if the driver sees her, he should stop. Despite Shane's disbelief, Holly insists on his understanding and pushes her to safety as the taxi driver reacts with honks and curses. Shane, tired and intoxicated, invites her to his house the next day. When Holly visits Shane, she shares her history of visibility and Shane's past as a successful fighter. Holly believes that by fixing what she broke, both their lives can return to normal. Shane, still struggling, some days later, Shane invites Holly to witness a fight at a small club. From a distance, Holly watches Shane effortlessly defeat his opponent. Impressed, she believes Shane deserves larger venues and more challenging fights. Holly assures him that she can help arrange matches with better fighters. Back home, Holly researches fighters' profiles online, eventually focusing on a guy named Clever Suarez. The following morning, she appears at Suarez's house and uses a compromising photo to blackmail him regarding the use of illegal pills, proposing a deal. Although Suarez is initially angered, he becomes worried about potential career damage and agrees to Holly's terms. Soon after, Shane receives a call from his manager about the fight with Suarez in 6 weeks. Excited, Shane thanks Holly for her assistance and expresses curiosity about how she accomplished it. However, Holly advises him to concentrate on getting adequate training, deflecting his inquiries. During Shane's preparation, Holly works on shaping his public image by capturing photos. Intrigued by a notification about her brother's birthday, Shane inquires about Holly's family. During the conversation, he suggests that Holly's sister might be pregnant. Curious, Holly borrows clothes from her sister and continues to support Shane's training. On social media, the showdown between Shane and Suarez becomes a sensation. The audience expresses concern about how Shane can prepare adequately within the 6-week time frame. Throughout the training period, Holly actively promotes Shane through publicity efforts. On the day of the fight, Shane invites Holly to watch, but she witnesses Shane's bout with Suarez through a streaming service on TV. To everyone's astonishment, Shane secures victory by submission in the 3rd round, leaving both the audience and social media in disbelief. Holly, concerned about Shane and injuries, praises his success but worries about his well-being. Shane takes Holly to the rooftop of their apartment building. Together, they gaze at the moon. Sharing a box of peanut butter ice cream, a post-fight tradition for Shane, he expresses gratitude for Holly's invaluable help. Shane compliments her outfit, touching Holly deeply. In a spontaneous moment, Shane kisses Holly. However, their intimate moment is interrupted when a journalist sneaks onto the roof and captures a picture of Shane kissing Holly. Despite Shane's attempt to intervene, the journalist manages to escape. Holly reassures Shane that the photos will give the impression that he was alone in those captured moments. After a delightful evening, Shane and Holly relish their time together. The following morning, Holly explores the city, and her attention is captivated by a headline on the front page of the newspaper: "Who is the Shadow Girl?" Ecstatically, she leaps for joy as she discovers that she is now featured in photos, even though people still cannot physically see her. In the upcoming match, Shane is set to face Tommy, a 2-time platinum belt winner. Before the fight, during the press conference, Tommy engages in banter with the crowd, boldly betting that he will knock Shane down in the 1st round. The tension escalates as both fighters become aggressive during the press event. When posed with the final question about whether Juliana, Shane's ex-girlfriend, is the Shadow Girl, Shane opts to remain silent. Following the press conference, Holly infiltrates her opponent's limousine, blackmailing him with compromising photos exposing that his girlfriend is only 16, and goes further by providing her student ID as proof. Frightened, Tommy has no option but to acquiesce to Holly's terms. As a result, on the day of the fight, Tommy concedes, allowing Shane to emerge victorious, adhering to the conditions set by Holly. During a visit to the club after Shane's shift, Holly overhears Juliana calling him. Shane confesses that he wasn't anticipating her call, and Holly observes that he seems to be a winner again, hinting that Juliana is reaching out because she needs him after Shane's recent victory over his opponent. Capitalizing on Shane's success, Holly contacts her tabloid connection to propose an exclusive story on Shane. However, the contact declines. Holly shifts her approach and fabricates a story, claiming that Shane's old rival is seeking a rematch. Intrigued, the contact expresses interest but seeks verification, which Holly cannot provide since the information is false. To compel the tabloid contact to publish the story, Holly resorts to a threat, insinuating that she will leak the news to a competitor if he refuses. Fearing the potential loss, he agrees to publish the false information about the rematch. In her pursuit of blackmail material, Holly breaks into her rival's apartment, but finds nothing of value. She then heads to her sister's house to return the borrowed clothes. After finding her sister crying in the bathroom, Holly learns that Shane is right about her sister being pregnant. However, her sister doesn't want to disclose this to her husband because she was afraid that her child would feel the same pressure to be pretty that she experienced growing up. Meanwhile, Holly receives a message indicating that Juliana is on a date at the lounge. To uncover the details, Holly goes to the lounge and discovers that Juliana's date is Shane. Accusing Holly of spying, Shane explains that he was curious about Juliana, and Holly questions the significance of their past night together. Shane confesses that Holly doesn't exist in the real world for him. As Holly's life returns to its usual routine of selling compromising photos of celebrities, she sees news that Juliana and Shane are dating again. Shane appears at Holly's door one evening, admitting that his life started falling apart for reasons beyond the compromising photo Holly took. He confesses that he became lazy and cheated due to a belief that the world owed him something. Seeking redemption, he asks how he can make it up to Holly, who responds by kissing him. Shane expresses a desire to change and advises Holly to come to terms with her situation. However, Shane unintentionally implies that it's Holly's fault for being invisible. Distraught, Holly notices her reflection disappearing from the mirror. Seeking comfort, she rushes to the gym to find Shane, but he doesn't see her. Holly's heartbreak intensifies when she witnesses Juliana handing Shane a towel. The reflection in the mirror completely disappears, signaling a worsening situation for Holly. Recalling the issues in her family, Holly takes steps to mend relationships. She helps her sister confess her pregnancy to her husband, knocking over a trash can and finding a discarded pregnancy test. She supports her brother's filmmaking endeavors by watching an experimental movie he's working on and commending its quality. Holly helps facilitate a meeting between two individuals by accidentally tripping over one of them in front of the house. Her brother rushes to assist, turning the encounter into an opportunity for connection. Curious about her father's personal life, Holly wonders aloud why he has never dated. While searching through his room, she comes to the realization that he is still deeply in love with their late mother. He usually visits his wife's grave after her passing. Holly realizes she never takes actions to make others love her. At the final match, it turns out Shane isn't a match for Jackson. Shane gets beaten without any way to defend. Worried for Shane, Holly decides to show up at the game. She feels bad seeing her lover in pain and getting punches. Holly, with her invisibility power, climbs onto the stage so she can stand next to Shane. When she touches him on the floor and says that she would always be by his side, Shane suddenly can see her again. Not only Shane, but the whole crowd can. The security has to drag her out of the stage to continue the game. After that, Shane loses the game. However, he rushes out to reunite with Holly. Several days later, Holly also comes to see her dad. This time, he recognizes her. The father and daughter hug each other in emotions. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.